Mr. President, I'm Whitney Schneidman, President of Schneidman Associates International, do a lot of work in Africa. Thank you for being here at CFR. I want to ask you about another challenge that I'm sure you're facing, and that concerns Somaliland and the forces, the pressures, internal and external, that are agitating for independence, how you analyze those and how you're managing them. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Schuman. First of all, thank you. First of all, you rightly said Somaliland has been there for, I think now 30 years, 31 years, since they said we secede from Somalia. It has never received any international recognition. Because in 1963, when the Organization of African Union, the mother of the current African Union, was established, in 1960 was the time the largest number of African countries got independence from the colonial powers of the past. So they get together around 50 countries, around 15 countries of 25 countries, a small number of countries who were independent by then. No, it was almost 50 countries who got together there in Cairo, and they established the concept of uniting Africa as one state, like the United States. The challenge has come was, who are we when you are uniting? Are we an independent states that unite together? Because now we are independent states. So again, the question comes, how we classify our borders. And it was very difficult because the colonial powers, they never considered the issue of ethnicity, the issue of clans and communities. So borders, they cut clans and communities. We claim in Somalia, in 1884, when the Berlin Conference for Scramble of Africa was there, where the Western powers were dividing zones of influence on Africa, Somalia has been divided into 5 parts. 1 for France, 2 for UK, 1 for Italy. So it was 1 part for Ethiopia. So it has been divided into 5 parts. So if you have seen our flag, there is a 5-point star, which represents the 5 Somalis. A dream was there to unite these 5 parts of Somalia as well. So in that day, Somalia has not ratified that chapter which claims that the colonial borders are the borders of Africa. That is still standing. We want wars with Ethiopia number of times because of that. Now that has it's gone. Somaliland was part of Somalia, colonized by Britain, and the rest of Somalia was colonized by Italy. So this is the only difference. We are the same ethnic group, we share the same language, the same religion, the same way of life. The only difference we have is you were colonized by Britain, we were colonized by Italy. And that is not an identity. We believe, people like me, who are pro-unionist, we believe that is not an identity that can divide us. So we united. 26 May 1960, Britain gave independence to Somaliland. And 1st July, Italy gave the independence to Somalia, the rest of Somalia. So Somaliland came, and the 1st July, we united. With the act of union agreed. There was a very serious power sharing. In 1969, when the last president was killed and the military took over, the prime minister of Somalia was a Somalilander. And unfortunately, he became the first president of Somaliland who is seceding. Although he was the prime minister of United Somalia. He passed away now. So the case is that when I came to the office in 2012, after we ended the transition, before 2012, there were successive transitional governments in Somalia. The end of transition was 2012. When I came, there was a New Deal agreement, compact in Brussels, organized by the European Union. There was a very serious negotiation between Somalia and the EU. They refused Somaliland to come and represent there, although they were invited and we accepted their invitation. So what we did is that we provided them special status, economic development, humanitarian aid. This should not be politicized and not necessary to go through the bureaucracy of the federal government of Somalia. The world we are allowed to deal directly with these people when it comes to economic development. And in that line now what happened is, for example, there is a very good port in Somaliland, Berbera Port. Berbera Port has been invested. But according to our constitution, ports are the federal government's jurisdiction. It's not the periphery or the federal member state or in this. So we were there. We have not interfered since there was investment, good amount of money was going to be invested to improve the facility of the seaport. We allowed. We never disrupted. We never went into that. So that was the case. The policy of Somalia was, we want to get back a united Somaliland. We don't want to divide Somaliland and make it into bits and pieces. That was the strategy and the policy for all these long years. Unfortunately, some of the Somaliland leaders were unable to hold together the Somaliland clans. Somalia are clans. As I said, politically, we were representing each other. That's the only tool that we have, power sharing was based. So the same in Somaliland, it is based on clans. Different clans were there. So the Somaliland administration was unable to hold together. One of the clans, they go, the government fight, they defeated the government. And now they said, we want the unity. We don't want a secession anymore. So there is no reason, legal or moral, that the federal government can say, oh, no, although you wanted the union or you are unionist, but stay there with the secession. No, we receive it, we welcomed them. They are standing there, they established their own administration. And we advised the Somaliland not to attack, let us negotiate, go through dialogue. There are a lot of detainees and prisoners of war on both sides of the... So now we are still negotiating on how those detainees are released, how ceasefire permanent can be reached, how the highways and the movement of the goods and people can be limited. This is going on right now. But Somalia is united in principle. This technical secession will be negotiated. The same even in the south. And you know the nature of federalism, the beginning of federalism. There is always people who have a different option, different ideas. And when the center is still not strong enough, capable enough, providing what's needed, the periphery, still there is this type of shake-up, but we are moving towards stabilizing the whole country and getting Somaliland back through peaceful means. Through peaceful means. Thank you.
Kamaran sheegay bangiga oo la jaartaha balance. U kaydso lacagtaada mar kasta iyo meel kasta. Ku dhex isticmaal adeegyada Somtel iyo iDahab. Ku xidha akoonkaaga bangiga oo ka dhex maamulo lacagtaada. U soo wareegoo la jaanqaad dunida casriga oo ku maamulo abka Dahabalaas nolol maalmeedkaaga maaliyadeed. Hadda kala soo deg App Store iyo Play Store abka Dahabalaas.
waxaan baasay ku xirtay maxaa
xataa hadduu furan yahay abka Dahabalaas waa ammaan hadda la soo deg abka Dahabalaas ku xafida hantidaada oo ka warwarnaa